Okay, this is the Snapper 7, guys, and I don't know if this is a little known fact, but when you connect the battery and you do nothing else, it overheats, and I'm going to show you what happens. Hey guys, this is Rick from Rick Chat RC. How you going? Thanks for joining me. Today I've got a quick update on the tiny whoop known as the Snapper 7. Now, as you know, I've done already a couple of reviews regarding this little whoop, and I thought I'd update you with another couple of things that I've discovered. I haven't really seen anyone else talk about it on the other forums. Maybe I've missed it. I hope I haven't. You can tell me. But apart from that, these are the little known facts that fly under the radar, if you like, no pun intended. And I've discovered that this is what happens to the tiny whoops. Now, I don't know if this is just isolated to the Snapper 7 or this is what happens in general, but here we go. Now, the first thing I've noticed is this. When you switch on the whoop, and you do this by simply connecting the battery, if you leave the whoop alone on the table, like so, like you can see in the picture now, and you know, it might sit there for 2 or 3 minutes, and it might sit there for 2 or 3 minutes because you're still adjusting your headset, or you're just looking at the radio knobs, and you know, you're adjusting a couple of things here and there, whatever the switch is. Perhaps you're adjusting the strap on your headset, screwing in the dipole antenna, preparing the recording, putting in the chip, whatever the case might be. Well, what I've noticed is this. The Snapper 7 starts to heat up. It starts to heat up to the point where it gets to a good, I don't know, 45, 50 degrees, and the VTX cuts out. Now, I've got my headset in this display right next to the tiny whoop, and it cuts out while the headset is this close to the tiny whoop. Now, I've never heard of this happening before. I don't think I've heard anyone else on the forums mention this before. So I don't know if this is a little false or if this is expected. I have to say it doesn't cut out when you're flying, which isn't too bad. You wouldn't want it to cut out when you're flying anyway. But the point is, when it's just sitting there, it actually heats up to the point where it affects the VTX signal. I don't know, it just doesn't sound right to me. But anyway, I'm going to display this and show you. Now, before I start with this little demonstration, there's a second point I'd like to bring up, and that is Acro mode. Now, we all love flying Acro mode, don't we? Well, I discovered that when you fly Acro mode with a tiny whoop and the battery level is starting to get low, if you don't land straight away, that tiny whoop starts to fly what I call watch out mode. What do I mean by watch out mode? Well, as if Acro mode isn't difficult enough sometimes, especially if you're a newbie. Like, you've got a ton of control with Acro mode. You can flip it right over, you can angle it there, you can angle it there, but at least you can control it. When the battery's getting low and you're still in Acro mode, or you're just flying away innocently in Acro mode, even if it's near you, I've found that the Acro mode sensitivity just becomes chaotic. It becomes chaotic to the point where you can't control the tiny whoop anymore. It just goes off at any angle, regardless of what you do with sticks. And as far as I'm concerned, you just lose absolute control of it. And more often than not, it's not heading into the air, it's heading into the ground. So it flips, it turns, the angle just goes spastic. It's absolutely chaotic in Acro mode, uncontrollable in Acro mode when the battery level gets low. Now, I'm going to demonstrate this too. I'm just going to simply fly it around my backyard. Most of it will be, you know, tight, small circles, even just hovering. So I can give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Now, has anyone else gone through this? Because I have heard nobody talk about this. Like I said, these things are all the rage right now. Whether you get the Snapper 7, whether you get the Mobular, whether you get the Tiny Hawk, whatever. There's a ton of them out there. They are getting better. They're always improving. The Snapper 7 was all the rage when it came out. This is the one I'm sticking with. I don't really think I'm going to get another one. I'm sort of over tiny whoops, but that's just me. But anyway, I'd like to know if what I'm about to show you occurs with the Tiny Hawk and with the Mobular and with all the others that are out there and that are coming out, because it just seems really strange. So here we go, stand by. As you can see, I've got my Snapper 7 right next to my headset in the picture there, and I've got my little trusty heat gun. So we're going to measure the temperature so you can see when the headset actually gives out. And then after that, I will demonstrate the Acro mode, which becomes chaotic mode when the battery level gets low. So here we go. Just give me a moment while I switch on the Tiny Whoop with the battery. Okay, so the Tiny Whoop has been connected. I'm going to connect my goggles now. My headset has been connected. I'm going to get my trusty little heat gun. I'll just wait for the display to appear on the headset. It's going through a bit of a... Don't know why it's doing that at the moment. Maybe my Tiny Whoop battery is too low. You know what? I'll just stop it there and I'll get another battery for the Tiny Whoop just in case. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I've got a fresh battery. It was almost a good start, but here we go. This should... here we go. Look at that. Much better. So you can see there is a display on my headset. Now, can I get this any clearer for you? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Let me just have a look here. I'll leave it like that. Anyway, my camera angle doesn't do the headset display justice, but there is a clear picture. Here we go. I'm going to switch on my heat gun. I'm going to knock my headset. Ha 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 ha. Laugh, 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 laugh. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to measure temperature. Okay, at the moment it's 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, back to 33. All right, I'll just relax that for a moment with the heat gun, pull it away. I've still got a good clear picture on the headset, and we'll have a look and see what the temperature is in another few moments. It only takes 3 minutes, sometimes not even. I'm thinking, imagine what would happen if you were out flying on a warm day. Does it really play that much havoc? I have to admit though, when it's flying, I don't suffer from this. Although some of my VTX trouble in the past, which I've done a review on also, may have suffered from this. That's one thing I didn't take into account, apart from the walking distance range. But anyway, let's see what this test produces. I'm about to point the heat gun again. 37. Ooh, it's jumped to 39. I've still got a good, perfectly good clear headset signal on the VTX, so no complaints so far. Temperature's jumped to about 40. 41. Okay. I will pull the gun away now and rest my arm. We'll wait another 30 seconds or so, and we'll see how we go. So once again, I must apologize for the clarity of the headset. I haven't really focused in the headset for this demonstration. I've just got the two things together so you can see that there is a VTX display. And when I look at it, it is crystal clear. It's showing me the batteries, the quad rather, is disarmed. The battery is completely full. And so far, so good. Now, all this time, the quad has been sitting there for the last few minutes, 3 easily for now, possibly 4, and it's still showing a good clear VTX signal. So now I'm going to go back and point the heat gun at the tiny whoop, and let's see what we got now. Okay, so we've jumped to 46, 47. At times it gets to that. It's hovering around the 43, 44 mark. Just move it around a bit, see what I get. Okay, not bad. Oh, jumped to 51 for a brief moment. I'll just pull the heat gun away again. And I'm just going to gently feel the top of the plastic. And I must say it is quite warm. It is quite warm. I think it's about to give way at any moment. You can see my headset is still showing an undistorted picture. I'm just going to point the gun at the tiny whoop again, get another reading because we're close. 43, 44, briefly jump to 48. 46. It's the top section of the plastic housing, if you like, which gets really, really warm. And okay, we're around the 47 degree mark at times. 47.9. Okay, I'll pull that away again, take another brief little break. As you can see, my headset is showing a clear VTX signal. I've still got a full battery, the quad is disarmed. I have not lost signal, it is not going haywire. I wonder if this is going to make a liar out of me. It's happened so many times, it's bound to happen and I expect that it will. Yeah. Okay, let's just wait. Let's be patient. This is indoors. The first time I did experience this, it was indoors on this very same table. So I wasn't even outside. And it was at night, believe it or not. Anyway, I'm going to point the gun again at the tiny whoop. Let's see what we get. Oh, jump to 50 briefly. So the temperature is going up. It's around about the 50 at times. Instantaneously, it's 50 degrees for a split moment. Okay, so this is the hottest that it's been so far. And I think at any moment past the 50 degree mark, this is where the VTX starts to play up in the headset and I lose it. As you can see, it's starting to happen. I can see it happening. I'm looking directly at the VTX. I hope you can pick that up in the camera. It's starting to flutter all over the place. Right now, I'd be thinking I'm flying too far away, but I'm actually not. The headset is right next to the tiny whoop. Both antennae are in. As you can see, the signal is getting crazy. I'm about to lose it. It's going absolutely haywire. Bang, I've lost it. 51 degrees, 54 it jumped to. That was 54 degrees. So definitely, here we go, 54 again. From 50 degrees onwards, expect the VTX, due to heat, expect the VTX signal to cut out on your headset. Well, there it is. You can see it as well on the camera. My headset is completely gone. There is no more VTX signal coming through. And the temperature on the quad, on the tiny whoop, if you like, this little head section I'm pointing it at, yeah, 53, 54 degrees at the most. And it started happening from 50, 51 degrees onwards. Okay, so there you have it. I'm going to pull the gun away again now. I don't know if anyone has experienced this. I don't know if it's a little known fact. No one seems to talk about it. No one seems to mention it. That's what I'm a little bit astonished about, to be honest. Maybe it's because I spend too much time on the table and not enough time in the air. I don't know. Look, I discovered this by accident when I was setting up my headset. I was going to do a walk of range test outside my backyard while I had the quad on the table. It was at night. I was going to go around the block. And while I was sitting at the table and preparing my headset, I realized that this happens. So, has anybody else been going through this? Drop me a line. Is it supposed to happen? Is this normal? Is it just the Snapper 7? Or is this common amongst tiny whoops? Anyway, I'm so glad I was able to share this with you. The next demonstration I'm going to show you is what happens when you fly these things in Acro mode and the good old battery level starts to get low and Acro mode becomes chaotic mode. Stand by. Okay, here we go. Normal mode. Let's see what happens. Here we are, flying in normal mode. As you know, these things only last about 3 minutes or less, so it won't take too long. So the first demonstration is what happens when the battery level goes down or gets low in normal mode. You still have some pretty good control over it, but I found the same is not the case when it's in Acro mode. So this first demonstration is obviously normal mode. Pretty good, it's all happening. I think the battery's getting a bit low. I'm applying more throttle to maintain its flying capability, maintain its height, so it is getting low. I'm past half throttle. Here we go, all over. Red Rover, that was that one. Okay, we're back. I have just swapped out the battery and it's got a fresh full battery, and I'm going to now fly in Acro mode until the battery goes down so you can see exactly what I have just been talking about. Okay, here we go. Acro mode. Takes a bit more concentration. It's happening. Acro mode. I got my helicopter skills into play here now. Acro mode, when the battery goes low, I think I'm going to lose control of it, like I have in the past. Let's see what happens this time while I'm putting it on to a demonstration for you. Whoa, 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 here we go. Battery is getting a little bit low. I've had to apply more throttle. See if it makes a liar out of me, or it does what I said it does. I find it starts to get a bit more wobbly. and that's the telltale sign that the battery is going to give way as well, even in case you haven't noticed it in your headset while you're flying it. Here we go, it's happening. I'm applying past half throttle to keep it airborne. Let's see if it makes a liar out of me. So far so good. I think it actually makes it worse when you try and put in more control. Okay, it's about to happen. Well, there you go. Look, I don't think it went exactly according to plan, the way I wanted to show you. Maybe its flight characteristics didn't change that much on the video, but I can tell you now, on the sticks, while I'm holding the transmitter, trying to maintain its flight control, that's where you feel it the most. It did drop to the ground the way it has in the past, and I literally had no more control. I was trying to slide it to the left and it just didn't want to move. Now what happens when it's in the air and it does that? You can forget about sliding it anywhere. It just flips and turns and heads straight for the ground. Anyway, look, like I said, I'm not bagging it. I just wanted to show you and share with you 2 updates that I have noticed about this tiny whoop. I don't know if it's common amongst all the other whoops, as I said earlier in my opening, but yeah, that's what you go through with the Snapper 7. Be careful when the battery gets low, and be careful not to leave it stationary for too long after you connect it. Otherwise, your VTX will cut out. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and bye for now.